Hi guys, Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I hope you guys are doing absolutely amazing. For this video, I wanted to talk to you guys about how I don't think I fit into this generation and why I don't think I fit into this generation. And how, if you do not fit into this generation, you're actually probably on the right path and you are going well. And I would just tell you, keep going. See, when I tell you that you don't have to fit in with this generation, I'm not urging you to be something that you're not, or if you do fit in with your friends, if you do fit in where you are at, that's good, that's well. In fact, we have to have an outlet or a set of people where we can just be ourselves, so that even when we do not feel comfortable with being ourselves at certain places and we feel like, okay, I for sure as hell don't fit in over here, we know that there's a certain bunch of people that love and accept us for who we really are. And that is extremely comforting. One thing that you possess that makes you not fit into this generation, but also is a sign that you are on the right path. Number one is your humor does not revolve around bringing somebody down. We've heard a lot about like dark humor or a humor which involves insulting people and bringing them down. And every single person that has a humor which involves insulting others is basically just trying to cover up for a certain level of trauma they have inside of them. And hear me out on this one. See, my humor is awkward humor, okay? And I'm literally admitting this on the screen, even though I don't feel proud of having this. The reason I say that I have an awkward humor and I laugh at awkward situations, or I laugh if others are put in an awkward situation, which by the way is not in a harmful way. I just feel like sometimes if two people who don't like each other cross paths, they are not bad people either, but they just get really awkward, I actually do laugh. I laugh in serious situations. Why? Because growing up, I was terrified of being embarrassed. I was terrified of being put in situations where I'm not comfortable, where I had to get out of my comfort zone, and I did not like being made fun of. So when I see that situations where awkwardness or embarrassments are highly normalized, I just laugh at it because I just find it to be extremely new and it triggers a response in me. Of course, I'm not gonna cry emotionally, so I just end up laughing at it, right? So I believe every sort of humor that any person has, it has a lot to do with their lifestyle and their past. Okay, my mother has a humor which literally makes me laugh because her humor is not just harmless. It does not have to bring someone down, but it really just takes life easy. Like, her humor reflects that she takes life easily. She is not harsh on others. She does not urge anybody to change with her sense of humor while she's making jokes on someone. For example, my mother and I have this joke where we literally refer to the character of a movie where the character literally gets so hyper and on the verge of like yelling and losing their control because there's a person that's constantly like bugging that character, okay? And that character is actually Sanjay Dutt from a movie. So I'm like, every time my mom's like getting mad at how much I'm annoying her, she's like, you are literally turning me into Sanjay Dutt. And by the way, it's just a very specific role of Sanjay Dutt. He's an actor, Bollywood actor. He in general is not like that. There's a scene of his where he gets very hyper. So it's a very harmless humor. And that's what makes me laugh at it. And since my childhood as well, I have had a humor where I was okay being the clown of the group, or I was okay with being laughed at and joking on myself in order to make others happy, because I felt like I have to joke on myself. I have to literally be mean to myself in order to make people feel less threatened by me and make people feel safe. Yes, actually hold up and focus on that one. I felt like I had to say something against myself for people to not just feel safer around me, but also laugh. Because since a really young age, what was ingrained in my mind was the fact that if I enter into rooms where I'm all silent, where I don't have to prove myself to anybody else, and where I can shine in my true authenticity, and where I don't have to like be really, really humble to a point that doesn't threaten others, then people will be threatened by me and people will not like me, because confidence was threatening to people around me since a really young age. So my trauma response to that ended up building up as was my humor, okay? So then I started constantly like cracking jokes on myself around like my bigger groups of friends and stuff. I would make jokes on my appearance, I would make jokes on myself, to make them laugh, because I felt like they would really enjoy it, and they did laugh, not to say they didn't. Or I felt like I had to make myself look less threatening to those insecure people who used to get threatened by confidence. If you think about this one, who is the less confident one? Who needs to do the self-reflection work when a person is simply confident and they constantly feel like they have to sort of not be confident enough because they want to seem less threatening to the other person? Or the person that gets triggered or disturbed by any confident person out there. Both of them need to do some level of work, but the second category, that is the category that needs to do a lot of work. The first category, they just need to be calmed down. They need to be told, you can be confident, you can shine in your light. Your light will not be dimmed. Your light will not be threatening to the right people. You can literally just shine. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the jokes he used to crack were extremely harmless. He was a person that always brought smiles to others' faces, even with Bibi Aisha Radhiyallahu ta'ala anha. Whenever he cracked jokes, he used to make people smile and he used to make people feel good about themselves. But like in our generation, a so-called dark humor, it revolves around putting others down or putting ourselves down in order for others' mood to be lightened up and for others to feel better about themselves. Like, think about how messed up this mentality is and how messed up this generation has become, which thinks that someone has to be put down, someone has to be unwanted or the clown of the group, or someone has to be hurt, someone has to be singled out for us to have a good time, for us to have fun. Someone has to be backbit against for us to have a gala time. Think about what level of sadism this has. Sadism means deriving pleasure by hurting somebody else. Yes, I might not like somebody. Guess what? I don't like a lot of people. I don't like a lot of things, a lot of sense of humor kinds, and a lot of jokes, a lot of people, a lot of characteristics. But do I, when they exercise that in front of me, do I feel like, okay, I have to put them down and I have to sort of tell them that you're wrong, as long as it's not hurtful to anybody around, in order to sort of express my dislike? We have to normalize the fact that if I dislike somebody or if I dislike something, if they're not trying to harm me or any other person or my religious values, or if they're not trying to be disrespectful towards God, astaghfirullah, or anybody else, then that's a me problem. For example, if I don't like somebody's fashion sense, it's my problem, it's not their problem. If I don't get it, if it's incomprehensible to me, it's a me problem. If I see somebody yelling on the streets and dancing on the streets and uploading reels of it, yes, that is haram. But again, in a sense of like getting embarrassed at looking at them, it's a me problem because I am the one feeling the embarrassment. They are free and they are vibrating their highest. And they don't give two craps about me, about what I think from scrolling. And if I don't like them, even if I dislike or leave a like on the hate comment they have, like, they don't give two craps. They're making money, they're vibrating high, they're happy. I am the one that's suffering throughout. We have normalized putting other people down, putting names to other people in the name of roasting and calling them cringe. Oh my God, don't even get me started with how normalized this word cringe has become just for us to project our own insecurities and our own embarrassments, which is our problem, not theirs. It's my problem if I don't like somebody. If I find somebody triggering, it's my problem, not theirs, every single time. And also, growth started happening and I realized I'm growing when I realized I'm actually, whenever I'm getting triggered by someone, I'm calling myself out and I'm telling myself, Khairunisa, baby girl, you're the one getting triggered. They're not in the wrong. You are the one getting triggered by them. So focus instead on healing your triggers. So next time, people like them will not trigger you anymore, right? Isn't that so practical? But we've prepared this whole sense of illusion where we sort of bring others down and we feel like we have to put limits on them and we have to limit them and we have to show them their place because we're all coming from the state of lack mindset. And not all, but a lot of the people, they're coming from the state of lack mindset. And we feel like we have to constantly keep telling others what to do. But Allah is the one that has blessed them and granted them free will. Okay, so I just want you guys to understand this. Okay, now number 2, a sign that you don't fit into this generation is you have haya. And this one I will repeat till I am here on this planet, okay? We normalize free mixing like hell by telling, you're not confident if you don't know how to talk to the opposite gender. You're not confident if you shy away from the opposite gender. Or literally, a girl once told me that, Karonasa, stop living in the 90s. This is not the 90s, okay? If you like somebody, just tell them. And start something and start collabing with them. What the hell? That's literally advocating, like being like the shaitan and replacing the shaitan and telling that, okay, you have to lie to yourself and the haya that you've been born with and literally go meet someone that might hold your interest. First of all, that's not a girl's thing to pursue. Don't do that, girls. The guy will come to you if he's meant for you. And people start coming onto your level of confidence, how much like ability you have to talk to the opposite gender, to be free with the opposite gender, to have free mixing, all of it. Like, I am the girl that when I was younger in school, I may have interacted with males, but wallahi, throughout, while I would like physically interact with males, I would never ever feel comfortable. I used to always feel like I want to run. Why? There is a reason. They are non-mahrams. And I swear to you, you will never feel the level of comfort, that feeling of home with non-mahrams. You don't have to. They are my male friends. No, of course I'm comfortable. We're like brothers and sisters. No. And I kid you not, like even if you are in a haram relationship or you have a situationship with a guy, and if you're a girl, or even if you're a guy who holds a good intention for a girl you're having a situationship with, you can never, with the haqq of a spouse, ever tell him that I don't like that you follow this person. I don't like that you like the picture of this person. You know what? I've had crushes in my life. I'm going to be raw and transparent. But I could never ever question them about their choices. Because why? I don't have any haqq on them. They don't have any haqq on me. You know? So let's stop trying to normalize having free mixing with the opposite gender. Literally having like a scene with the opposite gender. And telling that and calling that as confidence and being experienced. And if you don't want to do it, then you're somebody that's old school or from the 90s mindset. Well, you know what? Sometimes I really think, why am I from this generation? But then I calm myself down by reminding myself that Allah has a plan for me and there is a reason I've been put in this generation and I have a purpose to fulfill. However, I would never mind being the 90s old school girl with my mindset. Haya is something that is a blessing. I swear to you, it's a blessing. And your spouse will be a lucky individual if you have haya, because you're not somebody that freely mixes and mingles with the opposite gender. You always have that sort of hesitation with the opposite gender. And men are in general polygamous in nature, but a man always chooses that this is the woman. Yes, there's plenty of pretty women out there as well, probably prettier than the girl I like, but I choose this one for myself and I want her because we match, our energy match, our iman matches, our religious values match. And if I were to look for just a pretty face, I'm going to find one prettier than the other throughout the course of my lifetime. Or if I am looking for just like a body that is desirable for me, of course, again, I'm going to keep switching. But if I'm looking for soul contentment, soul satisfaction, and a connection that is cherishable, and if I'm looking for like loyalty, then they're literally going to choose you. And it's an act of self-care when you go for somebody that might not really be like a supermodel from either genders I'm talking, but they are for sure somebody that has it in them to hold and to maintain a connection. So first of all, look for all of it that you want from your future spouse, have hopes from your future spouse, and not from those situationships and female best friends or male best friends, because trust me, some days or years down the line, you're gonna look back at it with so much regret that I let a stranger bypass me, but throughout, they could get hold and control of so many of my emotions. The only person who should ever have control over what you do and how you feel is yourself. And I promise you, the moment you take away the power from others, they're literally going to be powerless over you. Because yeah, they can do things to make you feel a certain way, but if it does not take effect inside of your heart, inside of your qalb, in your mind, then khalas, they're done. It's done for them. It's over for anybody who wants to like get you confused and to play you. I swear, like just detach. It's so easy. I know it's easier said than done, but I promise you, when you want to actually do it, it's not that difficult at all. Okay? So having haya is a good thing. Number 3, I don't limit myself by the idea of what is ideally normal, by the constraints set on me or the restrictions set on me, or by the ideal expectations set on me by the society or by my culture or by my ancestors that has been passed down my lineage and now to me. I don't normalize, and this has been there in me since my childhood. Even with my parents, I have voiced out every time I don't like or appreciate something. And by the way, the ability to question things is not being disrespectful. It's not being the bus killer or the problematic person. You're literally just trying to clarify things. And if you especially come from a background where there's a lot of like influence of culture and made up superstitious narratives where you just want to question it because you may have read something about our religion, Islam, and you feel like these two things are contradicting and you want to question, everybody will try to shut you up by telling you that, no, shut up. What are you trying to do? You're literally being so disrespectful. Well, you're just like, no, I think that I'm not obliged to follow this and I'm expected to. Okay, I don't respect people, and I'm just saying this about me, and if you relate to this as well, I'm so glad that you are also somebody that resonates, because that only means you don't fit in with this generation and you're doing good in life. I don't respect people just because they're elder to me. I don't tolerate anything and everything from people who are younger to me just because they are younger to me and I'm supposed to be the bigger person. I respect those who respect me. I respect and appreciate people with a good heart. I'm kind to the people that are kind. People are told that you have to respect people who are in power in terms of the monetary aspect, money-wise, or in terms of the respect and the position they hold in the society, or in terms of their status. I have always been disgusted and repulsed by the idea of paying respect to a person only because they have a certain status or a certain image in the society. They've never really enthralled or excited me, because I knew deep down that there's more to it. There's more to it than just what they portray the world. And I really want to get to know them as a person. Because if I can't connect as a soul, which I lay all the importance on how a person is, how is their soul, if I cannot connect with it, khalas, I don't connect with it. And there are some people that in terms of their money, in terms of their popularity, in terms of their recognition, they've really, really tried. And if I were to maintain connections with them, I'd be, in terms of the money as well that I would be having so much more than I currently have. And I would be like in a position so much different, like in terms of popularity and money. But I literally said no, because I don't resonate and align with what they do, with the kind of people they are. Does that mean they are bad? No, that just means that I recognized early on that my soul is not meant to align. And me working with somebody, or me aligning my soul with somebody that is not meant to align with my soul, is literally me trying to shoot myself in the foot, and me trying to only put myself in survival mode in the future course of line, by trying to align with them, or by trying to explain to myself or justify to myself how them and their actions are supposed to be okay for me, while it was never okay for me. And I should not force myself to make what is not okay for me be okay for me. I promise you, if you have set of moral values and principles in this life and you stick to them, and if you question things, and if you feel like, okay, you might not be fitting in with this generation. I've even said no to a lot of like sponsorships, like work from home opportunities that were ready to pay me mo mangi kimat, like whatever I was asking to them. But I said no just because it did not align with what I wanted to say, with what I wanted to do. And I promise you, in the moment they can make you feel like, okay, you're in the loss or you're in a debt when you are rejecting us. But I promise you, in the future course of line, you are going to be glad you made that decision. And I would like to conclude this whole video with that. You have to please the creator, not the creation, my brothers and sisters. And today, if you felt it even a little bit in your heart, 1% also, that I don't fit in with this generation, I think you're in the right. Because you don't have to, oh my God, it's so twisted, I can't fit in. And I don't fit in. And yes, I get dressed the way I want to. I take inspiration, fashion and style inspiration from others. I admire people's way of talking. I admire people's way of dressing. I take inspiration in terms of like skincare, hair care, everything, but even in terms of the knowledge, but I never would do the things that don't sit well with me. And if I were to even, I know that it's going to keep me really disturbed. So one thing I will tell you, always listen to and answer the call from within your soul. because that one voice will always keep directing you. Because you know what? Allah is closer to you than your jugular vein. So take it as a sign from Allah every time your heart says no to something, every time there's a voice inside of you telling you that I don't want to do this, let's not do this, or let's do this instead. Listen to that, and you'll save yourself up from being in trouble, and from regretting, and from even not respecting yourself any further. Alright, Jazakallah khair for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, do hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe to my channel for more such videos in the future, inshallah. Okay, I will meet you guys in my next video. Allah Hafiz, Biman Allah. Take care.